Good day, grade 9. This is your 3D shapes exercise 2 on the 17th of April. Okay, so we are going to start. Please remember there are Afrikaans words also on this document, but just ignore that and listen to the English and look at the English words. Alright, first they asked us to complete the table. So they're asking us for the name of the shape, the number of faces, the number of vertices, and the number of edges. Okay, so the first figure there is a rectangular prism. A rectangular prism has 6 faces, 8 vertices, and 12 edges. Then I have a triangular prism. The triangular prism has 5 faces, 6 vertices, and 9 edges. Let's quickly just count the vertices. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertices. Let's count the edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's how I counted it. Then for the cylinder. A cylinder, some books say that it has 3 faces. So it's one on top, one on the bottom, and the one that goes around. But some books say no, that's not correct. It's only 2 faces because faces are flat. So if you had 2, it's also correct. Then the number of vertices is 0, and the number of edges are 2. 2 edges and 0 vertices. Then we have a rectangular pyramid. The rectangular pyramid has 5 faces, 5 vertices, and 8 edges. Then we have a right pentagonal pyramid. A right pentagonal pyramid. Okay, so how do I know it's pentagonal? I count the number of angles in the bottom and the base. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 angles in the base. So it's pentagonal. And then I have 6 faces and 6 vertices and 10 edges. That's it for number 1. Then number 2 asks for the nets of figures. Okay, so some of you complained that these don't fit in on a A4 page. So some of you did it in millimeters, but that's very small. You could have just taken your own measurements. But if you did that, please ensure that the shape stays exactly the same. The shape should stay exactly the same. I'm going to point out some important things. If you didn't do it with these measurements, but other measurements, just make sure that it's correct accordingly. So let's look at this one. First, I drew in the center, I drew the base. So I drew the base right there, 5 by 4. And then I kind of folded it open. So I started with this side, and it has a 12 by 4. So I opened it, and that is my 12 by 4, the pink one. Then I did the one that goes diagonally down, and that is a 13 by 4. So that's what I did there. Then you have to make very sure that this is perpendicular, these two. And I folded out the triangles. It's also very important to make sure that that side and that side is the same length, and this side and this side, and the same on the other side. Because imagine you have to close it, you have to refold it into a 3D shape, then those sides have to fit exactly onto one another. So that's the important part. Even if you didn't use 13 centimeters, maybe yours is totally different. But then all you can do is you can just make sure that those few important things are there. Right, then the next one, we have a rectangular prism. What I did was I started with this side and I drew it right there, a 12 by 6 triangle. Then I went all the way around and I drew each triangle. I started with the one there at the back. That's this one. Then I went on to the one on the left there. That one is a 6 by 12. And then the one here in front is a 7 by 12. That's what I ended with there. And right at the end, I drew 2 small rectangles on the sides. You can put it anywhere on the sides as long as there's one on each side. There's a few ways that this net can look. So just make sure that you have the important stuff. You have to have one 6 by 12 rectangle. You have to have a rectangle 6 by 12 and then a 7 by 12 and then again a 6 by 12 and then again a 7 by 12, and then you have to have 2 of the 7 by 6s. Okay, so if you have those, then you are correct and you are done. That's it for today. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email your teacher. The email addresses are on the website.